You're not like them. You never were. The world screams for attention, but you thrive in silence. A lone wolf, a deep thinker, a man who sees through the chaos and walks away. But something gnaws at you, a quiet ache. You're brilliant, you know it. Yet success slips through your fingers, not because you're weak, not because you lack the mind, but because of mistakes, silent, subtle, woven into the fabric of who you are. You don't chase the spotlight. You don't beg for applause. But deep down, you wonder, why does the world overlook you? Why does your potential stay buried? This isn't about fixing you. You're not broken. This is about seeing, truly seeing, the traps you set for yourself, the mistakes that dim your fire. 5 mistakes, 5 truths, 5 doors to unlock the man you were meant to be. You're not here by accident. You feel it, that pull, that hunger for something more. Stay with me. Let's walk this path together. The world doesn't understand you, but I do. And by the end, you'll understand yourself. Mistake 1, hiding your light. You're a torch in the dark, brilliant, radiant, but you cover your flame. You hide it, not from fear, but from choice. The world is loud. It rewards the brash, the shallow, the ones who shout their worth. You see through their game. You despise it. So, you step back. You dim your light. You let others take the stage. But here's the paradox. Your brilliance isn't just for you. It's a gift, a force, meant to shape the world. Yet you bury it. You tell yourself, I don't need their validation. And you're right, you don't. But the world needs your vision. You avoid the spotlight because it feels like betrayal. To stand out feels like conforming. But what if hiding is the real betrayal of yourself, of your purpose? You're not arrogant. You don't crave praise. But you've convinced yourself that staying unseen is staying true. It's not. It's a quiet surrender. Your ideas, your insights, your unique fire, they're trapped inside you. Not because you lack courage, but because you've mistaken humility for invisibility. The man who hides his light doesn't just rob himself, he robs the world. And deep down, you feel that loss, that ache of potential left to wither. You don't need to shout, you don't need to perform, but you must let your light breathe. One step, one word, one act of quiet courage. That's where it begins. Mistake 2, the cage of independence. You are your own master. No chains bind you. No system owns you. You've built a fortress of independence, and you guard it fiercely. But freedom has a shadow. Your strength, your self-reliance can become your cage. You don't ask for help, not because you're proud, but because you've learned the hard way that others disappoint. They falter, they misunderstand. So you do it alone, always alone. But here's the truth. No man is an island, not even you. Your mind is vast, your will unbreakable, but your isolation limits you. You avoid teams, you shun alliances. You tell yourself, I'm better off alone, and sometimes you are, but not always. The world rewards connection, not the shallow kind, not the networking, the handshakes, the empty smiles you hate, but real connection, minds that challenge you, hearts that see you. You don't need many. One ally, one mentor, one soul who gets it. That's enough. But you push them away. You build walls, and those walls, meant to protect, become your prison. Independence is your sword, but it's also your shackle. You don't need to compromise your soul. You don't need to bend. But you must learn to let others in, not to save you, but to amplify you. Your success isn't just yours. It's a ripple, a legacy, and it starts when you open the gate. Mistake 3. Rejecting the game. The world is a game. Rules, players, prizes. You see it clearly, and you want no part of it. You reject the latter, the titles, the status. You'd rather burn it all down than climb a rung. And there's power in that. You're not a pawn. You're not a puppet. You carve your own path. But here's the mistake. You think opting out means you're free. It doesn't. The game still shapes the world. It moves the pieces. It sets the stage. And by refusing to play, you let others dictate the rules. You don't want power for power's sake. You're not greedy. But power isn't just money. It's not just fame. It's influence. It's the ability to bend the world toward your vision. You have that vision, deep inside. A world that makes sense. A world that values truth. But you won't fight for it. Not because you're weak, but because you think the fight is beneath you. It's not. The game is dirty. It's flawed. But it's the arena where change is forged. You don't need to sell your soul. You don't need to play their way. But you must step in, strategize, move, use your mind, that brilliant, tactical mind, to rewrite the rules. Opting out feels noble, but it's a quiet defeat. The world needs your voice, not as a player, but as a force. Stop rejecting the game. Start reshaping it. Mistake 4. The weight of silence. Your silence is your armor. It shields you. It grounds you. In a world of noise, your quiet is a rebellion. But silence has a cost. It's heavy. It builds walls between you and the world. You don't speak because you don't waste words. You don't explain because you think they should understand. But they don't. And that gap, that unspoken truth, becomes your burden. You feel misunderstood, not because you're wrong, but because you've chosen to let the world misread you. Your thoughts are gold, your insights a map to a better way, but you keep them locked, not from fear, but from a belief. If they don't see me, they don't deserve me. That's a lie. Not everyone will get you. Most won't. But the few who do, they're waiting. They need your voice, your truth. Silence is strength, but it's also a choice. And sometimes, you choose it to avoid the risk of being seen. Being seen is raw. It's vulnerable. But it's also power. Your words, when you choose them, can shift minds. They can spark fires. You don't need to be loud. You don't need to preach. But you must speak. One sentence, one truth, one moment where you let the world feel your weight. Your silence is sacred, but it's not your destiny. Let it go, just enough to let your soul breathe. Mistake 5. Chasing shadows. You chase something, not money, not fame, but a vision, a life that feels true, a world that aligns with the fire in your soul. But you chase shadows, ideals that shift, goals that fade when you reach for them. You're not aimless. Your mind is sharp, your heart a compass. But you've fallen into a trap. You seek perfection, a path without flaws, a life without compromise. And so you wander. You start. You stop. You pivot. Not because you're lost, but because nothing feels worthy of your full fire. You sabotage your success, not with failure, but with indecision. You see every flaw, every crack, and you pause. You rethink. You walk away. Perfection is a ghost. It doesn't exist. But you are real. Your work, your vision, your impact, they're real. You don't need a perfect path. You need a path. One step, one choice, one moment where you say, this is enough for now. The world isn't ready for your full brilliance. It never will be. But you must give it anyway. Imperfectly. Raw. True. Stop chasing shadows. Start building. Your success isn't a destination, it's a fire. Feed it, let it burn. You are not a mistake. You are not a failure. You are a force, a mind that cuts through lies, a heart that feels the weight of a world gone wrong. These mistakes, hiding, isolating, rejecting, silencing, chasing, they're not your chains. They're your teachers. You've walked alone because you had to. You've stayed silent because the world wasn't ready. But now, you see, you know, your power isn't in fitting in. It's in standing apart. Not to rebel, but to create, to build, to lead in your quiet, unbreakable way. You don't need their applause. You don't need their rules. But you need your truth, your voice, your fire. The world is loud, but your silence is louder. Your presence, a ripple that changes everything. This is your awakening, not to become someone else, but to become who you've always been. A Sigma, a lone wolf, a man who walks his path and lights the way for others. Step forward, not for them, for you. The man you were born to be is waiting.